and be able to welcome everyone as they come on. So let me start now. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, and I know that many of you are, my name is Cheryl Cortese. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and I've had that honor and privilege now for 32 and a half years. Looking forward to the next 32 because the adventure only gets better all the time. And so, as I said, we've been meeting like this for a long time, and just the connection for information and inspiration and really the community that this has developed, we're all proud of and we enjoy being involved in. Also tonight, there are a lot of people on the phone, and I know there are many of you who are new partners with our company. I didn't get to hear every name, but I know we will as time goes on, and we want to particularly welcome all of you, our new teammates and partners in the Juice Plus Company. So just to give you a little background, if you're, again, starting with us at this point and brand new tonight, let me give you a little company history. The Juice Plus Company is 50 years old this year. It's a company that's been extremely successful over all those years. The young man that started it 50 years ago, Jay Martin, is still the man who runs it today. It was his baby then. It's still his baby today, and it's been tremendous success over the years and continues to be so. We entered the marketplace with something that I know you're all very familiar with today. We were the company that invented smoke detectors for the home, and that was obviously laid the foundation for huge success to follow. Diversifying over the years went into the field of water filtration and air filtration, and once again, very timely and all multi-billion-dollar products. 28 years ago, we entered the field of health technology with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus family of products, and what a find that was, not only for our own health and well-being, but for the health and well-being of those we love and the people that we come across on a daily basis. And today we couldn't be more relevant as far as the product and what it will do for the body, and for a way to really help share with others and develop businesses as well. Tonight we're very blessed to have someone with us that I truly admire and have known for some time. Many of us have. She really brings great information and inspiration both. Our special speaker is Dr. Pamela Benitez. She's an MD. She's also a qualifying national marketing director, which is a top position with our company. And I'll tell you just a little bit about Dr. Benitez. She's a general surgeon with a busy practice now focusing exclusively on diseases of the breast and breast cancer. She comes to us from William Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak, Michigan, where she is highly active in research and medical education. Her most recent papers have appeared in Annals of Surgical Oncology and the International Journal of Radiation Oncology. Her other clinical interest is the exploration of the role of nutrition in health and disease. Born in Maryland and raised in Missouri and New York, Dr. Benitez found her way to Michigan via her undergraduate work at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. Graduating with academic honors, her medical school training at Albany Medical College in upstate New York, where she was elected to the prestigious National Academic Alpha Omega Alpha Medical Honor Society, and her surgical residency at the University of Michigan. Empowering individuals to have and take control of their health is a major focus in her practice. She encourages her patients and audiences to take personal responsibility for one's health, as she believes that this is the key to the future of our health system. So tonight she's going to talk to you about healing for life and making the case for immunity. So Dr. Benitez, I'll turn it over to you, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. It's great to be with you again, and I love all the excitement that I was hearing on the phone. It really brought a lot of smiles to my face.
It's an exciting time.
It was insane. I'm thrilled that so many people are joining us tonight. So on that note, we're all inundated with emails, advertising, webinars, and Zoom events, and even alerts from companies that you did business with 20 years ago so they can tell you what they're doing to protect their employees as well as you during these times of COVID-19. It's just crazy So just want to reassure everybody on the phone that I will not be sending you an email for a webinar or an alert on how to wash your hands while singing Happy Birthday or singing the chorus of Sweet Caroline after this presentation. I just want to get that out there. But what I do want to accomplish tonight is to provide some fact-based, research-based, and practical information to help you support and strengthen your immune system at a time when it is really, really needed. Many of you probably already know much of what I'm going to share tonight, and for some it may be new information, but I hope that all of you can take away at least one thing that you can put into action literally tonight. So first, I'd like to start by addressing the elephant in the room, namely that we're all feeling a bit worried, maybe scared, and probably uncertain what the future holds. You know, about 3 weeks ago, I had been taping the news, and about 3 weeks ago, I stopped watching the evening news and stopped reading news articles about COVID-19 and stopped looking at the hundreds of emails as a physician that I got about COVID-19 because I realized how stressed I had become with each passing day listening to these stories that incite fear and even panic. I asked my husband, John, better known to all of my Juice Plus family as my sweetie, to let me know if there was something that I really needed to know about, and he would let me know without stirring up feelings of fear, distress, anxiety, or apprehension. I mean, that was a major step for me because I was really feeling that fear and that panic. And I already had enough on my plate. The onset of COVID-19 dramatically changed the way I do business as a surgeon and in caring for my patients with cancer. I'm no longer caring for patients in the office, though patients need to see me. I'm not able to operate on my cancer patients, though knowing patients need care for their cancer. And I have no employees. One became very sick with flu symptoms soon in early March, and after the shelter-at-home order came down and I closed the office, the other employee chose unemployment, though I still have to run my practice. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but if you have, you'll know that overnight, the hospital where I work, Beaumont Health System, became the epicenter of COVID-19 in the Midwest. The outpatient operating rooms were closed down. All future elective surgical cases were canceled. Patients were told to cancel routine appointments, and physicians were told to figure out how to care for their patients currently undergoing treatment, patients newly diagnosed with cancer, and follow-up patients. Like overnight, we were told to figure this out. I came home and literally found myself frozen in fear for several days, asking myself as a solo private practitioner, I am not employed by the hospital, how would I keep my practice alive? How could I financially sustain it? How would I or could I do this with no employees? And what was very real to me, how do I overcome my fear of operating on and seeing patients who still needed in-person care with COVID-19 all around me? John invited me to listen to a panel discussion with the National Speakers Association on how to manage one's speaking business during COVID-19 when so many of their in-person events were suddenly canceled. I heeded their sage advice. I get up, I get showered, I get dressed, and I go to work downstairs in the kitchen. I figured out how I would move my office practice to our home, how in 24 hours to do telemedicine and how to put that in motion, which I had never done before, how to enlist the help of my girlfriend to make masks for me, and we decided to use the vacuum cleaner HEPA filter bags as an insert for when I had to go into the hospital since I had no access to N95 masks, and how to implement a decontamination process in what my husband made was a quarantine room in our garage, and he put that all in place to alleviate my fears of bringing COVID home to our family. So I'd like to begin by saying that this too shall pass, but for now, we all need to take a deep breath. So for a moment, everyone out there, let's just take one collective deep breath and relax. let's focus on what we can do to make the best of our situations. Learn together what we can do to protect ourselves now and in the future. What we want to take away from these times are lessons in taking better care of ourselves and our families, with an emphasis on healing for today and the future, or what I call healing for life. So with that backdrop, there are 3 areas that I want to focus on that are pertinent to what is happening now. First, to present a short crash course on our immune system. Second, to discuss the connection that stress has to the immune system and how chronic inflammation fits into the picture. And third, to provide solutions to create healing for life. In other words, making the case for immunity. So let's first begin with a crash course on our immune system. It is our body's main defense to bacteria, viruses, toxins, chemicals, in other words, any substance that appears foreign and harmful. So when you hear about T cells, B cells, the natural killer cells, cytokines, those are all part of our immune system. Actually, every part of our body is involved with our immune system. It is a very complicated, intricate system with many moving parts. The immune system protects the body from harmful substances by recognizing and responding to these insults. So when an insult is presented to your body, your immune system leaps into action. That process triggers an inflammatory response, something I'm sure all of you have seen. When you get a splinter, you'll see the redness, swelling, heat, and pain, the 4 cardinal signs of inflammation. But that all subsides once the immune system has done its job. But recognize that this also happens on the inside where you do not see the response of the immune system. So know that it is there working for you every day. Let's also keep in mind that there are times that the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy cells, creating what we term autoimmunity, leading to autoimmune diseases like lupus, multiple sclerosis, ulcerative colitis, rheumatoid arthritis. There are times, too, that the cause of the acute inflammation goes untreated, such as an infection or injury, or there's long-term exposure to irritants such as industrial chemicals or polluted air. This can lead to chronic inflammation, which has long been felt to be the underlying pathophysiology of diseases that are really well known to us that physicians treat every single day: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, cerebrovascular disease, osteoarthritis, obesity, neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, asthma, and even cancer. That is why we need to keep our immune system healthy and strong so that it can be ready to fight off these invaders, to keep it from attacking our own cells, and to prevent acute inflammation from becoming chronic. That is how we gain control over our bodies and create healing for life. That is also how we can make sense of all this uncertainty that surrounds us. Let's look at the second area and examine the connection that stress has to the immune system, how chronic inflammation fits into the picture, and what roles they play in our immune health. Let's start with stress. With all that's going on now, on some level, we are all feeling stressed. I certainly know I was. Stress has both benefits and downfalls. Stress is an adaptive response. As a species, we have evolved through the fight or flight response, which provides the physical energy and mental focus to remove us from dangerous situations. Or, in my case, to step up and take action and take control of the situation. When we're stressed, the immune system's ability to fight off offenders is reduced. That is why we're more susceptible to infections. Chronic stress, however, negatively impacts us on many different physiologic and psychological levels. The stress hormone cortisol can suppress the effectiveness of the immune system, for example, by lowering the number of cells that are produced to fight off the offenders. Adrenaline, or epinephrine, and norepinephrine, the stress hormones, also become elevated with stress. So we really can look at what stress does and chronic stress does on all parts of our bodies, like our cardiovascular system, with elevated heart rate, blood pressure, and if sustained, increases our risk of a cardiovascular event, namely a heart attack and even stroke. It alters the normal functioning of our digestive system, which in turn will cause gastrointestinal problems such as ulcers and irritable bowel issues. Remember that the gut and its microbiome make up a large part of our immune system and its immunological responses. Stress increases fatigue and overall sense of well-being. It clouds your thinking, kills brain cells, and shrinks the brain. And worse, it accelerates aging. And importantly, an indirect effect of stress is how it affects our coping strategies. And this is really important during this time. It possibly leading to, like, if you quit smoking, you might start smoking again, drinking alcohol in excess. So we all need to take note of the increase in the alcohol sales, even over toilet paper. That's really kind of crazy. This indirect effect may also lead to poor dietary choices, lack of exercise, and changes in our sleeping patterns. These poor choices can lead to chronic inflammation. Studies have long shown that chronic stress leads to an inability of the immune cells to regulate the inflammatory response, leading to an increase in inflammation, which causes cellular and tissue injury, DNA damage, tissue breakdown, and eventually cellular death. So, if not handled well, and I know we talked about ways to manage stress a few weeks ago with Cheryl on the Monday night call, chronic stress has a significant role in the development of chronic inflammation. And now the third part, to provide solutions to create healing for life, making the case for immunity. Let's ask these questions. How do we support our immune system during these troubled times? How do we equip it to perform optimally? How do we enable it to heal not only now, but for the rest of our lives? I feel that there are 6 important areas where we can have a powerful impact on our health to create healing for life. These are exercise, sleep, community or social network, nutrition, faith, and gratitude. For now, I'd like to focus on nutrition, since proper nutrition provides one of the most important antidotes to chronic inflammation. Making changes in our nutritional plan is also something we can do today for healing for life as well as for immunity. I also want to share with you what I do to meet this nutritional challenge. One of the basic physiologic principles of how our body functions is the concept of oxidation and oxidative stress. Because it's so important to understanding the basis of disease, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about this. Oxidative stress is defined as the overproduction of free radicals, which are toxic byproducts of the metabolism of oxygen. In other words, even from the air we breathe. These free radicals attack cell membranes, mitochondria, which are the energy-producing units of our cells, and proteins, which in turn impair their function. In addition, free radicals can lead to DNA damage and mutations that can be a predisposing factor for cancer and age-related disorders. The inflammatory process also induces oxidative stress. The solution for combating oxidative stress is antioxidants, but also phytonutrients and micronutrients, all found in plant-based foods. The body can't produce enough antioxidants when oxidative stress is intensified, which it certainly can be at this time. So we have 2 choices: to either reduce oxidative stress or provide the body with more antioxidants, phytonutrients, and micronutrients. And as I said, the best source for these is from the world of plants. Whole foods, fruits, vegetables, berries, whole grains, beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds provide the body with the necessary tools to combat free radical damage and reduce oxidative stress. The best diet really is the Mediterranean diet because it is primarily plant-based with a generous amount of fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, small portions of nuts, red wine in moderation, everyone, very little red meat, and fish on a regular basis. It excludes refined and processed food as well as refined sugars. The research is clear on the health benefits of a plant-based diet, especially in preventing chronic health conditions. A plant-based nutritional plan provides the calories and energy that we need to function optimally. But more importantly, this nutritional plan provides those antioxidants, phytochemicals, phytonutrients, vitamin, minerals, and enzymes that scavenge free radicals and decrease oxidative damage induced by these free radicals, thus reducing damage to lipids, especially the fat, the lipids in the cell membranes, proteins, and DNA, and protecting our bodies, protecting cellular systems from damage. So we know that the current requirement of fruits and veggies is 7 to 13 servings every day and 9 servings of whole grains, beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds per day. So what do I do to get 7 to 13 servings of fruits, berries, and veggies every day? I certainly know that I should, and I know it's really hard for me to do. So in addition to eating what I can, I use a whole food plant-based nutritional product, and that's Juice Plus. Dehydrated fruits, veggies, and berries in a capsule, providing over 30 raw whole foods every single day. Let me just switch courses for a little bit and tell you how I was introduced to Juice Plus. My patient, Gretchen Houghton, was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1994 at age 47. Her mother had breast cancer and passed at age 43. Her maternal grandmother had breast cancer and passed at age 40. So what do you think Gretchen believed about her outcome? When she got home from our consultation, on her kitchen counter at home, sent to her by her dear college friend Cynthia Gompers, was Juice Plus. Gretchen asked Cynthia what this was all about, and Cynthia said, "Just take it." And so she did. Gretchen asked me if she could take it throughout her treatment, surgery, and chemotherapy, and I said yes, not knowing everything about it yet. So, fast forward, today, Gretchen is 73 years old, a fabulous 73, should I say, with 5 wonderful grandchildren, having survived her journey of breast cancer. Applause. So, as the story goes, Gretchen would come in every year for her annual checkup, and at the end of her visit, she would ask if she could share information about Juice Plus with me. My answer was always the same: show me the research. And in 1994 and through the following years, as she came in every year, there wasn't any that I would consider enough. So now let's move forward to October 2002. I collapsed in the operating room one Friday, rushed to our recovery room. Resuscitation efforts were initiated with my temperature spiking to 106. That was how it began. It had been a great October that year. I had just done my first 60-mile walk for breast cancer. A new man, John, had appeared in my life. Life was great. But during the week that followed, I developed severe headaches that had advanced to meningitis. My body experienced progressive muscle fatigue and bone aching. At the end of that week, following my collapse in the operating room, I woke up and found myself paretic, or partially paralyzed. Long story made short, the diagnosis was made. I had succumbed to West Nile virus. You know, these viruses are so crazy, and when I see what's happening today, you can imagine how I feel knowing what these viruses can do. At that time, there were 485 cases of West Nile virus in our county alone. It was kind of the dead bird virus, if you may all recall. And I was sick, very, very sick. During my illness, the new gentleman friend in my life, a researcher and dean of a medical school, started to do his own investigation into what could be done to heal this broken body. And what he found was evidence that plant-based foods could help heal the underlying physiological processes that were a part of West Nile virus. Eventually, I was able to go back to work with a walker, and who do you think was there for her annual visit? None other than Gretchen. And during that visit, she listened very empathetically to my story, and at the end, she asked if I would consider taking Juice Plus since it was plant-based. And I, in a very weak weak moment, said yes. So I took Juice Plus for 6 months, and then I quit. Why? Because there was no research, and I felt I was not being honest with myself and my practice. Now let's move to 2005, 3 years later. My immune system totally crashed. Little did I know that one of the long-term effects of West Nile virus was immune dysfunction and development of an autoimmune disease. So you know that this whole story of immune health is so near and dear to my heart. Now I was really in trouble and had to go see a hematologist. John and I did our research, we did our homework, and I was ready to start the treatment based on the excellent research that the doctor we found near us had conducted. So we saw him, and at the end of the consultation, my doctor stated that he believed I could turn this around naturally. And John and I looked at each other thinking, had he grown 2 heads? I mean, what was he saying? I mean, we could not believe what we were hearing. So we left and sat in the car in the hospital garage, really perplexed at how I was going to do this. Now, I mean, I help people through all of this. This is what I do. I help people with their immune systems and with treatment of cancers. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know what to do. And John turned to me and said, what do you want to do? And I just sat there. And finally, I said to him quietly, will you take me to Gretchen's? And he did. We drove 45 minutes over to Gretchen's. Now, I was the student and she was the teacher. She got me on all 3 capsules of Juice Plus, the fruits, veggies, and berries. Gretchen strongly recommended a complete shake for breakfast, a much better breakfast than my usual coffee, a habit that I've continued to this day. That's both coffee and complete. So to me, they go hand in hand. So why did I choose to now take Juice Plus? You know, it's because I was scared and I was really in trouble. There still wasn't much research, but what I had learned was the value of a plant-based diet, fruits, veggies, grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds to help with immune health and the optimal functioning of one's immune system. 3 months later, I returned for my checkup, and to my joy and amazement, my immune system had healed. It's not like I don't have occasional bumps in the road, but I was convinced of the power of a plant-based nutritional plan and how to incorporate Juice Plus into that plan to help heal my immune system. We now have over 40 research studies performed at quality institutions all over the world, published in peer-reviewed medical journals that we as physicians read every day. These studies show that Juice Plus does just what fruits and veggies do for overall health. And there are 4 studies on the immune system that speak directly to me and how my immune system responded that show how Juice Plus supports key measures of immune system function. There's a whole list of things that Juice Plus does, but I just want to mention 4 of them. Juice Plus becomes available. When you take it, when you consume it, they can measure a rise in your antioxidants in your blood. It supports the immune system. We just talked about that. It reduces that oxidative stress by 75% and supports a healthy inflammatory response. It is unique. It's food. It's not a multivitamin. It has a food label. It's just dehydrated fruits and veggies, but it is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. There's no way I would be sharing a product if it did not have this kind of research. I am so proud that this company decided long ago to do research to show the benefits that Juice Plus can offer. It's affordable, $2.50 a day. I mean, that's for all 3 blends, cheaper than a Starbucks coffee, one of those coffee house coffees. If we add the complete shake, it's only $2.33 for a shake, which is fabulous. And we also now have plant-based omegas. So we're skipping the fish, which may have some toxins itself or some mercury or other contaminant. So we're going straight to the plants, which is where fish get the omegas, and we have a great blend of omega fatty acids that support an array of health benefits, especially for the heart, brain, joints, skin, and eye health. So add $1 for that a day. All of that is just minimal when you consider the benefit you're getting from Juice Plus. And I just have to say, I think it's important, we're not saying that it's going to replace a good plant-based nutrition or eating, nor it's not going to treat or cure any specific condition, but it is truly a way to bridge the gap from what we do eat to reach those 7 to 13 servings we need every day for optimal functioning of our bodies and our immune health. Before I finish, I'd like to add a message to those who may be listening who have been on the journey of breast cancer, or those who are waiting patiently to receive treatment right now, or concerned about it because it might be in their family or believe they're at risk. I know this is a really tough time for all of you. The uncertainty of this situation, the need for physical distancing, and the possible delays in cancer treatments can be especially distressing. I know that. I hear my patients' concerns. I did 2 consults today, newly diagnosed breast cancer, and I'm telling them that they have to wait. During COVID-19, we are aware of the increased risk to patients undergoing chemotherapy having to come in and receive treatment. The best defense that any cancer patient can have, whether it is now during COVID-19 or in the future, is to arm themselves with the best nutrition to support their immune system by adding Juice Plus to bridge the gap, to exercise, and to practice good self-care. The truth about breast cancer is that most breast cancers change. When I talk to a patient and they're saying, they're frightened and scared about their breast cancer, I say, listen, take a deep breath. Most breast cancers change every 4 to 6 months. So even being diagnosed during this time of no surgeries, they do have time. And we do have treatments that can temporize until we're able to go to the operating room. So again, take that deep breath, wash your hands to happy birthday, and know that you're going to be okay. So I just want to say for a moment to thank and remember all our real heroes who are helping us during this trying time. The hospital personnel, the healthcare providers, grocery store employees, food suppliers, servicemen and women, sanitation workers, law enforcement, public safety officers, and first responders, to just name a few. I mean, they are amazing heroes, but you too can be a hero for yourself and your family by encouraging healthy behaviors, improving your nutritional plan, and providing the social connections we so desperately need during this time of sheltering at home. I always say, we got this, and you got this. So let's make changes today that will create healing for life. So that's my story. And Cheryl, I don't know our time. I haven't looked at the clock. But if we have a few minutes, I'd love to share a little bit about my business story. But I'll leave that up to you because I have.
No, we do. We have a few minutes, so go ahead.
Okay. So let's go back to 2005. So that's when I crashed and burned, so to speak, and my immune system was in trouble. And that's when I truly started taking Juice Plus on a regular basis. And I did make it back to work, and I started sharing my story with patients. I talked about plant-based nutrition, explaining how Juice Plus truly bridged the gap for me. I was still concerned about the limited amount of research on Juice Plus, so I was very careful and judicious about sharing. As I said, I practice research-based medicine. I perform research myself, and I just had to be true to myself. So as I shared and people became customers, Gretchen took care of my customers until 2 of them wanted to become representatives and share the business of Juice Plus. Gretchen called me and said that I needed to sign up as a representative so that those 2 individuals could be placed on my team with me. And I wasn't really comfortable with all of this. I always say I signed that distributor application kicking and screaming. But at that time, I had just co-founded Shades of Pink Foundation, a nonprofit foundation that provides financial support to women recently diagnosed with breast cancer in the southeast Michigan area. And we needed seed money to get that foundation started, and it made perfect sense to me that any money I received from Juice Plus would be channeled to the foundation. So I continued to share Juice Plus, and in so doing was able to grow my foundation. We have given $1.8 million in financial grants paying the bills directly to patients since we began. And I truly can say that is not only from the business of Juice Plus. Whenever the foundation needs money from me, I give it to them. And from my family, my Juice Plus family, Cynthia Gompers, really supports my foundation. And we've been able to do so much, which brings me then to today. Over the years, the research on Juice Plus has grown. The body of research became the driver such that I could ethically and morally share Juice Plus. I didn't want it to be just my experience or my story. I became more committed to sharing Juice Plus given the research that was now published on the product. But now, today, right now, I too am without the business I had before. I've been a solo practitioner. It's my baby. It's my business. And here I am. Screening mammography has shut down. Referring practices are working as skeleton offices. There are no new referrals, and I can't operate on patients even if I wanted to. I know this is all going to change sometime soon, but for now, medical care for breast cancer has scaled way back. But I still have my residual income from my Juice Plus business. It's paying the bills of a practice that has minimal income. It is keeping my doors open and paying my rent. And in having time to do telemedicine, I'm talking to patients about how they're doing, how they're coping. Are they doing good self-care? Are they exercising and eating right? So I'm able to share with them what I'm doing as I home shelter, both in my exercise routines and nutrition, and how I'm getting fruits and veggies in me every day, even though we don't go shopping, but maybe once every 2 weeks or more. And that's a huge change for me. So I am thrilled that I have the ability to keep my practice open. And I see many around me, physicians that are very frightened. I talked to one today, and I talked to her about what I was doing. So I'd like to encourage everyone to just up their nutritional game, to reduce the impact that chronic inflammation and chronic stress has on our immune system. Let's make it stronger so we can fend off not only the coronavirus, but prevent all those chronic health conditions. So I encourage you to talk to the person who shared this call with you, and I'm turning it over to you, Cheryl.
Okay.
Thanks so
thank
much.
you, Dr. Benitez, and so many powerful things you've shared with people tonight, and so many things, I identified with as far as just the logistics of where we are and where we've been and the experiences that we've all had and the experience that we're having together. Certainly, I think for all of us on the line, there's so many blessings. The blessing that we have a basis of good nutrition and we have that to offer others. One of the things you mentioned was that, your body really responded when you started taking Juice Plus. And I have been with the company, as I said, 32 years, and 28 of those years have been watching people, including myself, consuming Juice Plus every day. And the one thing that I can say, and without a doubt, because it, and research certainly proves this out in so many things, but just in watching is that no matter what your body's dealing with, it deals with it much more efficiently. And healing tends to take place. And I truly think that no matter what you come in contact with, so it would only make sense that what we're facing today, the body would be able to deal with it much more efficiently from just what we've seen so far. That's not making a claim. That's just an observation. But it's a very good feeling for myself and my family that we have this foundation as far as Juice Plus is concerned. And also the blessing that we do work from home. And, in any crisis, and I think I've mentioned this before, but in any crisis, whether it's war or national disaster or any type of thing, there are people who need help and there are people who come to help. And at this point, we all need help to a certain extent, but we all in this, with Juice Plus, with our company, we are the people who can help. And I think that is a call to action for all of us and a real blessing at the same time. Certainly we have a wonderful community that supports each other, and we've developed this over many years. So if you're joining us for the first time tonight, you definitely have, as a new team member, a new partner, you've definitely found a home because it is a very loving community and one that really wants the best for each other and for all those people that we come across on a daily basis. So there are a lot of things in place already to support those things of nutrition, community. We're staying connected very closely. I, like yourself, Dr. Benitez, have had to discipline myself as far as news is concerned. I learned many years ago that was not the best thing for me to do as far as watch the news every day, but I had to really get stern with myself as far as just finding out only as much as I absolutely have to know and not allowing myself to constantly, I guess you would say, media binge. That's made a big difference as far as my own sense of well-being, and I encourage it as well. And then working from home, that structure and discipline, as you said, get up, get dressed, get ready as if you were leaving the door to meet people at your office or whatever. That has been something that has been foundational in working from home, and it certainly is a great recommendation today. And so definitely we are in a position to make a difference. We're in a position to be supportive to people from a standpoint of a community that cares. And the other thing you mentioned that I think is so important is that in the interim, because I truly believe we'll go back to, maybe a better life, but a life where we are free to interact again. But in the interim, what a wonderful thing to have something that you can share with other people that can help them as far as support in this interim time. And certainly we've never been more relevant as far as the product and what that product can and will do foundationally for people. So thank you so much for your input tonight. And again, to all the new partners that have joined us, we really have had very large growth here over the last month from a business standpoint. And again, I think that just reflects the need in the marketplace and in the population and our desire to fill that need. So thank you again, Dr. Benitez, and to everybody on the line. It's a pleasure to hear your voices. It always has been, but I think it's something we treasure now more than ever. And when we get to see you on Zoom, I love it because I get to see you. And so we look forward to the next event, and we'll talk often. And so thank you again, Dr. Benitez, and to everyone on the line. Good evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.